that you don't like.
It's so dumb too, because I was trying so hard. I went in the same thing. He basically put me in the same mindset, and I tried so hard to find anything related to
what the reason was.
and there was. I finished it, and I'm like, oh man, this is so.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to Otaku Flavored. I'm Jay Lewis.
Yeah, I'm Bear.
Joining me as always, the
How you guys?
the ever so awesome birthday boy.
Oh, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. This
Happy
probably
birthday,
will be
Bear.
going up on my birthday. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Thank you. Man.
Which I'm still confused on what day is your actual birthday. You celebrated today. Twitter and everything says it's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
And then okay, it is tomorrow. Gotcha.
Tiff
I
just
knew
had
it. I knew
work.
it all along.
She had work today, so she was celebrating with me today, because she won't be able to celebrate it with me tomorrow. So
Gotcha.
we just did it a day early. Tomorrow I get to just hang out and probably play a bunch of Pokemon Snap. I might stream.
Hell yeah.
You guys might check out a birthday stream. I don't know. I'm gonna be editing this podcast.
So Pokemon Snap. The fact that it's a portable console, you can move the camera around in 3D space. I sat in a chair and just tried to make myself dizzy by spinning around.
Oh.
It is not the optimal way of playing
Whoa!
by any means, but you can do it, and it is fun.
I never thought of that. That's a pretty good idea to like a way to play Pokemon Snap, because I was just using your good old thumbstick controls and everything, and
Yeah,
it
it's
felt
better.
fine.
Better way to play is with the thumbsticks.
But-
you totally can just go, woo, look, there's birds.
Dude, the immersiveness of like
It's
being
fun.
able to like float around or just like spin around, because that's not what you're doing in game. You're just sitting there spinning around in your chair.
It was made for VR. Like, literally, I wish this was a VR game. But I'm still having so much fun. I love Pokemon Snap.
Yeah. I've
I'm
been
only-
liking it so far. I just did my first basic like little run through. So I got through the
Okay.
tutorial, and then you do your first like actual adventure. So I was able to go do that. And the nostalgia. The weird feeling of I didn't think I was going to like this. I actually thought I was going to go in and I was going to this is boring. This is just boring. You're taking pictures of Pokemon, and instantaneously the first thing that flew by, or the moment I saw a Bidoof on the ground, I was like, oh my god, I don't know why I love this as much as I do. Like, what is going on?
I honestly, yeah, the whole time, like, I've been keeping up with this thing coming out. I've been, as interested as, like, just in the idea of it this whole time. And until I started playing, I didn't realize I was going to like it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I started playing, I was like, oh, I'm about to 100% this whole thing.
Weirdly enough, I feel like this is going to become the game I play a lot more than I expected to. I wasn't even going to pick it up, and then you were nice enough to give it to me for my birthday, so I was like,
Happy birthday. Yeah.
let's go. All right, I'm getting Pokemon. Let's full dive into this. And man, it has been so much more fun than I expected it to be.
Which I'm super glad about.
Me too.
Way excited. It's better than what I thought it was going to be. I don't know. I have no idea how to exactly even explain it, because there's no way you can show somebody how awesome it's going to be until you play it.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't look as cool as it feels.
Because when you boil it down from watching it, you're like, oh, I'm just taking pictures of Pokemon that are doing their Pokemon-ness out in the world. Like, why would I care? And man, it is like just getting that perfect shot, or the first time you see a new Pokemon moving around, it just brought me back to the day and age of, all right, this is why I played Pokemon Snap to begin with, like the original one.
So here's the fun story of Jay never played original Pokemon Snap.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. So I was really going off of this completely just as a whim.
Okay, that's
I
interesting.
didn't know.
So how? Okay,
I would
as
like it or
someone who
not.
never played Pokemon Snap, now that you've gone to try it, what have you been liking? Is there anything that you feel like doesn't fit well? I understand that it's maybe repetitive, but
So what I had always in my brain, I was like, oh, Pokemon Snap, this is just the same as like if they added any other gimmick to a regular Pokemon title. One day there will be a 3D Pokemon game, and they'll just add a camera in there, and that's how I will experience Pokemon Snap. That's what I was waiting for. I never expected them to release a second Pokemon Snap. To be honest, I always thought it was just going to be added onto the games proper, which I still kind of hope they do at some point. But that being said, this experience is really, really fun and engaging, and I like it as a full concept. I wish I could move around on my own, but I don't know. There's something about like that forced like track. Like you only have so much time, and you're like it works so much better than I ever thought it would.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about the forced track that now that I'm playing it again, it made me realize is it really you get into these moments where you're like, all right, Pokemon, I need you to line up for me. I need you to do this thing.
Yes.
Where if you're freely able to move around, there'd be a lot more of you getting the perfect shot or like every time or being able to set that up. When in this, you're like, come on, Pokemon, I swear, I need you.
But well, so I mean, there's a give and take to that, right? So in this version of iteration of the game, which is the definitive one, right? So you're on that course. It is what it is. Things are where they are, and you can interact with them to a bit to line up that perfect shot, or the shot will line up on its own because it was meant to. One of the two. But regardless of however that transpires, it's gonna everybody in the world is having this linear experience ish, which is not true. It's everybody is playing this differently, and that's the thing that I like, that you don't understand until you're in it. But ultimately, the thing that would be great about a full world exploration thing is when you take those photos in a 3D, you could possibly scare it. There'd be just more things to do with it, and I don't know. It would also feel much more organic, unlike. Because in my head, I was like, this is going to feel unorganic. Everybody's going to have the same shots as me. Everything's going to go through the same way. And it's going to feel like, why did I do this experience? And I don't feel that now that I've played it. I understand that's not how it is, but I can understand how that's how somebody new coming into the franchise is going to feel about it. As opposed to just instinctually, which I now know is probably not true, because they would probably do setup pieces for a 3D world where you had a chance of it spawning this way, and people would end up with the similar pictures anyways. So I think both are a cool approach idea, but I really do like this version of it.
Yeah, I think when you go in, you know that they're going to move this certain way. You know what's going to happen. There are ways to interact with the Pokemon for the most part for certain things, and it's just leads to such a bigger amount of possibilities for your pictures than you would think by just basically surface looking at it. And have you scrolled through any of like the online photos yet? Have you gone in there and like looked?
No, I'm trying to keep myself as spoiler free as possible.
That's a smart move. It's definitely a smart move.
Yeah. So I refuse to look at anybody else's stuff until I've completed it. But I will say, everybody was like, oh, everything's going to be in the exact same spot always. And that is true-ish, except for until you level up.
True.
So
yeah,
the fact that it changes the map every time you level up makes a lot more replay than I ever thought was going to be in there.
Which is so much better than how they used to do it. Because, yeah, originally it was the same thing always, all the time. So you got really, really used to where that Pokemon would spawn, how to make this one jump out in a certain way. But this one, yeah, it basically kind of is a way to mix it up and keep it fresh each time. Being able to see new Pokemon, being able to see them act differently. Even like the scan thing is pretty neat. I actually really like that feature to be able
I like it more than I thought I would too. I thought, oh, why would I want this thing that just tells me where the best shot's going to end up being and things like that? And it's like, well, no, there's other things to do with it, and it's much more utility. And you can set the settings on it. You can set it to please tell me where everything is, or shut up, don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. You can really craft your own play experience with like a lot of different little things in here that I didn't expect them to let you adjust. I will say, why does it spend so much time in the beginning setting up languages to then never actually talk to you, except for
very every once in a while. I mean, when I first booted it up, yeah, they say like a couple things, and then I was like, oh wait, all right, this isn't fully voice acted. I kind of saw that coming, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
I thought it was in my head. I was like, it's a Pokemon game. Nobody's gonna talk to me, but it put an emphasis on what language are you? Cool. Then what language do you also want to hear people in? And it was like, there was just so much more. I thought if I picked English, it would just go English for everything. But no, you can be English, with Japanese voices, and it's just like, but no, doesn't actually matter.
No,
They're
yeah.
barely going to talk to you.
which I mean I kind of get. It is a Pokemon
Yes.
game. Part of me wanted this to be fully voice acted because I can't see there being that much talking.
At some point, Pokemon is going to hit a point where they have to start doing that because everybody else has done it.
Oh yeah.
And Pokemon is just so far behind. The fact that we're finally getting an open world game in 2022, Pokemon Legends Arceus, like that took too long.
Yeah. This actually gives me a lot of hope for that too, because seeing the models
True.
in 3D, these are good. Like it looks
Handled by different companies though.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could see that. But even still, like it gives me hope that some other company could pull off something similar to this, because I don't know, seeing Pokemon in 3D, there's something special about it. There's something special about seeing a Pokemon in its habitat where normally you're like, oh, I wander through the tall grass, or there it is, or whatever it might be, how you encounter them. Because I mean, in the newer games, you can kind of see them roaming around. But to kind of get that full feel that Pokemon Snap gives you, where you're like actually in what feels like the Pokemon
feels
world.
Good.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels great. They look great. And I think what does occur is I think everybody uses the official models. So I think they're going to be the same models that we see everywhere else
I hope
anyways.
So, yeah. It would be smart for them to do that. Yeah. Because that way they're not redesigning or having to retool the models necessarily.
Yeah.
They already have them.
I'm game for that. So Pokemon Snap, if you were thinking about going to get it, I suggest going and grabbing it. It's a lot more fun than it looks.
Yeah, I would say if you were on the fence about getting it, yeah, definitely worth getting. If you weren't thinking of getting it, maybe get on the fence to get it if you like Pokemon.
But yeah, go try friends. Honestly, just go do a run in a friends thing. Don't try to like worry about whatever they have special going on. Just literally just point and click a couple times, and you'll see if it's for you or not.
Yeah, sure. I agree. And that was one of the things where I went on the online and I was like, okay, let's see what other people are doing. And people are pretty creative so far with the frames and how everything was going. And I was like, this makes me want to get good at this. This makes me want to make some good meme content from this. Like, people were making some good stuff. I have one picture I'm proud of already. And it's funny, I put it up already on this up online. And I'm like, please, someone notice this and like it. Like, I just want
I got like an okay 4-star so far.
Damn, you got a 4-star? Mine was still 1-star. I'll get there.
All I've done is still the first course, so I've gotten level 2 on all the first courses.
Nice.
On the first map area, and got 1 4-star already. And which was sad because it wasn't the best photo out of all of the photos that I could have selected, but the game thinks it's the best, and I disagree with the game.
See, that's something I will agree with, is that I hate that the game basically is like, I want it centered, full on, as big as you can get it, in a certain position, doing a certain thing, and that might actually not be the coolest photo you can get of these Pokemon.
Exactly.
But the game, I mean, it's a game, it has to have criteria. But I totally agree. I actually have a couple of pictures where I'm like, oh, this is so much better, but it's either like really far away or it's part of like a bigger shot, but the game's like, nah, it's not that great. And I'm like, no, this is beautiful. This is sweet.
Luckily, you do get to set it from slot 1, 2, 3, and 4. And also you can save all the photos that you want to save.
That is true.
Outside of those star ranks too. So it does give you options to play with the things that are considered trash in the game.
Yeah. And then I was actually surprised too, because if I remember correctly, in the original, you basically get to go through your whole entire or your folder basically, but it only really lets you select the ones that have Pokemon in them. Where this one actually you get a folder even if you didn't highlight a Pokemon necessarily, and you can go in there. So you could do scenery shots. So you could do like cool shots of like absolutely nothing basically.
Yeah, I'm glad that exists as well, because then there might just be cool looking things that you want to show somebody, I guess. I don't know what the reasoning would be, but it gives a sense of non-linearity, like as if you have agency over what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Have you seen the printer?
I have seen the printer. The fact that they didn't launch the Pikachu printer skin with Pokemon Snap was a dumb idea.
Yeah.
I don't think as many people are going to buy it because of that. I think if they would have launched it one by one, like I think the sales would have been extra. But that being said, I'm probably wrong because I went on to Pokemon, the Pokemon shop last night to look at a couple things because I was like, oh, there's a bunch of new stuff for the Pokemon celebration stuff going on. I want to see what there is. Everything on Pokemon is sold out right now.
Oh,
It is.
I know.
If you wanted something good, I'm sorry, it's gone.
Dude, Pokemon is just on this bonanza of people buying everything Pokemon related. And I know like manufacturing is not in a good place right now, so everything's just selling out so fast.
The whole website's obliterated. I remember how bad it was during the 20th anniversary, and I was like, it's probably gonna be it's insane hype right now. I couldn't get a single thing I wanted. I was so bummed out looking at things on there and just like, not for me.
It's so depressing.
You literally have to be buying it within the minutes of it going up, or you're not going to get it, and that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks a lot. But to go back to the printers, the printers like nostalged me out even more because Blockbuster at the time, that's where you would go to get these printed out.
I seen those, yeah.
And I
remember those as a kid.
I remember back in the day, they would give you a sheet, and on that sheet would have like all 151 Pokemon or whatever was in. I think all 151 were in the game. I guess it was 100. I don't remember if Mewtwo was in the game. But anyways, you would basically have a little place to put them all on there. And I was like, oh man, I just want to do that again with this game. I want to print out little stickers of all my things and have a sheet that I'm like slowly but surely putting my favorite ones on. Just to get that full Pokemon Snap experience from how it used to be.
Right on.
You used to bring your cartridge in. It was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
You'd bring your cartridge in. You'd put it in like the printer. Basically, you'd go select your pictures to print out. It was pretty legit.
I watched other kids use it. So I remember I was in foster care for a couple weeks during Pokemon Snap craze, and the kid of there had it, and his parents brought him there to print off Pokemon Snap stuff.
There you go.
Which I remember being like an angsty little kid and just being like, this sucks. I have to walk around and watch this kid do
that's so
stupid things with his parents. And I'm just getting drug along.
I see how it is. I want
to play Pokemon.
Yeah, I want exactly. I feel that. Yeah, I have some like of the little stickers on my Game Boy carrying case. I have like an old school Game Boy carrying case, and I have a bunch of old stickers on there from Pokemon Snap days. Man, how the times have changed though. They look so nice. Everything looks so nice. R.I.P. Blockbuster.
I should have worn my Blockbuster shirt. I knew it.
Ha! That would have been pretty legit. But yeah, I would give this game so far. I mean, I haven't gotten too far in it, but so far I'd give it easily like an 8 out of 10. Like
Oh yeah.
It's a solid game. It's a solid experience. If you like Pokemon at all, I feel like it's perfect. It's what you kind of...
I definitely got more out of it than I expected.
Yeah.
Already.
Oh man, there was something else that I was tasked with this week too, that we wanted to talk about.
So I feel like we're going to go on a long conversation about this in a moment. So I want to get off on a small tangent.
Okay,
that's not something spoilers, so that way we can let people
that way we can
chillax and talk about
bring
stuff
them
for a
in,
moment.
bring them in slowly.
Yeah,
Sure.
Because I just want to get this rant out of the way really quick. Because we're not going to reach that many people. I love y'all for that. Do watch us. Thanks for watching. Keep watching us. But I'm really sad because I'm watching a bunch of YouTubers right now. A bunch of Pokemon ones mainly are all on this train right now from the sponsor. I'm not going to say which YouTubers they are or what sponsor it is. You guys can figure it out on your own. But what it is we've seen this before. It's not the first time. It won't be the last time. But what it is it's a service that buys and owns collectibles, and you buy a part of that collectible digitally to own.
Oh, weird.
Almost like they claim it to be like stocks. So you can the last one that went under from this and has a big lawsuit pending from it still because it's a scam, always has been, always will be, is they used to be like, oh, you can buy 10% of this Black Lotus. You can't buy the whole thing, but you can buy a part of it and experience the joy of owning one and rewards of it going up in price.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so basically you're buying a part of an expensive collectible that if it
Mhm.
increases, your potentially now your worth of it will increase. Therefore, you make money off of this collectible. Why? That's such a
just buy the damn collectible.
I was going to say it's
First
such
off,
a weird service.
it's a weird service. It sounds so. There's one of two people here that will see this and they'll be like, "Oh, I don't have money to buy uh, a
Great.
Gem 10
Yeah.
Charizard base set, and I want in on that. I want to own a part of it. That fear of missing out. I've missed out on it so far. I can get in for my $20 of this Charizard and feel like I'm part of this.
Yeah.
Don't do it, please, guys. There's a bunch of YouTubers pushing it right now. They don't understand why it's wrong. A lot of people are like, "Oh, but like Bitcoin and all the other things I'm missing out on, and the collectible market and whatnot." Just buy the collectible that you want and hold on to it and try to sell it or whatever. We've talked about that, how that's not what you should really be doing, but if you really want to do it, go that way, because this, in the truest form, is and always has been a scam and will continue to be. The last several times that I've seen this pop up, and each time fail, mind you, and be stuck in litigation and lawsuits forever, is because what's happening is homeboy that set this whole thing up is skimming the hell off the top, for one.
Oh, yeah.
You're carting stuff out, so you don't have this card.
No,
you don't have that collectible.
big
You don't have
thing.
that thing. You don't get to touch it. You don't get to experience it. You don't get the joy of having it. You get when they sell it, and you lose out on the seller fees. You lose out on the what you have to pay every year as it being a asset in the collection. Like, there's so much taped up around this thing. You will lose money.
Yeah, I feel like
it will not work.
At this point, either if you can't afford the collectible, just invest in something else like that's actually legitimate. Like, if you want to do something that can increase in value, buy stocks. If you really want to do Bitcoin or anything like that, buy into crypto. But yeah, to buy a percentage of a collectible as though it was a stock is so depressing to me, because A, you don't own it. You don't get to have this. You physically don't get to show your friends, yo, I have a Black Lotus. I can't go on Twitter and show off 10% of a Black Lotus. That'd be so funny, actually. You're like, I bought 10% of a Black Lotus. You take like a Black Lotus picture, you cut out 10% of it, and you just show that, basically. You're like, dude, look at this. I have a corner. I got a small corner.
So, yeah, this new company might not be a scam. So I don't want to... It might not be. It might be legitimate. It might be totally on the up and up. Do you want to risk it? And also, even if it's 100% legitimate, what Bear just said, you don't own the damn thing.
Yeah.
Like,
if there was
just buy.
If there was a way to get like 10% of it now, and then slowly but surely buy up to it, and then once you pay 100%, you get it, basically. That to me makes sense. Like, sure, maybe if that existed, but yeah, even if you get all the way to your 100%, I own 100% of this item, I'm guessing you don't get it. Like,
yeah, and yeah, even if you buy 100% of the market of that card, yeah, it's still the other guy has it.
There's so much.
The guy's taking the buyer's fees. He's adding on his own stuff. He's taking the cost to run the business. Like, all that stuff's not free. You are literally like, whatever the worth of that card is, just knock it down by a huge percentage to cover everything else about the business that is needed to prop up the act of that thing being profitable, and profitable for him anyways. Like, it
seems like there's a better investment out there. Yeah,
it doesn't work.
If you like a collectible that much, then save for it. Or if you feel like you can never get it, maybe find something that's similar, close enough to it.
Yeah, and there may be a few people that do get in on the right moment.
That's true. I mean, I can't say you can't. I mean,
just the same as so many other things. Like, there's always one person that's on top with a body of people below him. That's just like, you hear from the one dude saying, I did it, and you don't realize that he's just on a pyramid of corpses. Like, it's...
Yeah. I always look at it like, if you're going to invest in anything, just make sure that whatever you're investing, it's gone. Like, you just realize that once you've invested it, if you lose everything on that, it's not the end of the world. So just always keep that in mind during any investment, anything, I'd say. Buying anything out there, especially if you think it's going to go up in price and you're holding it to sell it for monetary value, just know that the moment you're getting in to do that, if all of a sudden it drops to zero and no one wants this thing anymore, then you're not out on the street, or can't pay rent or whatever it is. So
yeah,
just I believe in you guys.
just buy the
But
collectible, please.
that's a good little warning. Man, I haven't seen that going out because I haven't been watching a lot of
dude,
ads.
I was so bummed. I respect the hustle. Like,
I
get
do
your
too.
money
I get it.
so many times, but at the same time, like, a little bit of research, like the fact that this business model has propped up before and it's failed is like the biggest red flag to me. But I understand that a lot of people might have never seen those other ones, and so that's okay.
Yeah.
This might be the first time they've ever introduced it. And the Pokemon craze is huge right now, which is why they're targeting Pokemon content creators. Like,
Yeah.
I get the angle that this is coming from. A bunch of people that don't know better and have the fear of missing out, like it, and most of them being really young people. Like, this is
Sure. And then,
this is ripe for just abuse, in my opinion. And there's a lot of people that are unfortunately going to buy into a lot of this.
as far as it being like an ad too, that's like a kind of scummy like this, I've seen this happen quite a bit, and I don't blame the YouTubers or people who have it, especially
it's hard
when you're
to,
trying to make that bread or survive. Maybe you've now we're doing well enough that you're getting ad revenue from things, and someone approaches you and is like, hey, I'll give you $100,000 if you do like a thing for my ad. And it's hard to turn down some of the money that gets thrown at you. Like,
you don't want to eat ramen for the next week, and you're like, wow, I can buy dinner.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. You know what? Sponsor us.
Yeah, that was so funny. Next weekend, we just have a sponsored ad from this company.
So you can buy a percentage. It's like stocks.
Okay, if that happens, don't hate us. I swear to God, you guys.
I mean,
it's the most hypocritical thing I'll ever do in my entire life if that happened. Well, okay.
So it's much like there's other companies out there that there's a companies right now that's selling a treatment that a lot of YouTubers support because it's a big profitable thing. But if you read through it and do research on it, the chemical used in this thing is known to very, very minutely cause slightly more often cancer in certain parts of the body.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's really fuzzy and all the way down there, and they hide it on the website, but they talk about it. And if you go to their competitor, they're a little bit more up in the, more obvious about it, which I like their competitor more because of that, because they're much more upfront about the studies. But the one that you see advertised right now everywhere isn't. And so I'm a little bit less happy about them. But regardless, the fact that they don't talk about that type of stuff and the YouTubers don't do, like, if I was to get a sponsor by one of these people, I would only do it if I was allowed to talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let me do research on it. Let me say what I need to say about it.
There was one
Yeah.
a little while ago that got a bunch of controversy. I don't remember the name of the company, but they were doing mental health basically, and it turned out that the people who you would get in contact with and things like that were not certified real doctors, and it was like really hard to actually figure out if you were talking to a real like therapist or anything like that, because they wouldn't keep your credentials or their credentials out in the open. So but a lot of creators at the time were just doing it because it was a way to make money and all of that type of stuff. So yeah, I would always say no matter who's shilling you anything, a little bit of research can go a long way. You can I believe in you guys. You guys are smart. If you guys are watching this podcast, you're smart people. Yes. So
yeah, just don't trust people because you like them. I mean, it's a whole thing. If do your research, if it fits right for you.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I feel like this one's an easy one for people to miss, and I completely understand people would do all the research on this and still think it's legit. So I get why this one in particular is like there's no hidden thing on it where it feels like, but at the same time there is. It's just they're hiding all of the problems with
trying to run this type
hard
of business.
To understand logic. Yeah. And buried along with all this other hype that everybody has for everything else. But for anybody who's owned a collectible and tried to sell it and realized just how screwed they get on their own, this person's screwing you twice as hard. Trust me.
I mean,
so I really had to get that off my chest because it's been bothering me that I've seen it just popping up like crazy over the past like 3 days, I think.
Yeah, I haven't seen it at all, but I'm guessing now that we've talked about it, the algorithm's gonna instantly send it to me, 100%.
Yeah. If we blow up overnight and thousands of people watch us for some reason, don't harass the creators that have these things. Please don't. It's just one of those things where, like, when you see it, just know nobody's gonna. If you talk about it, they're gonna have a conflict with you. Don't start conflicts with people.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's why I was kind of like talking about
let it go.
The YouTubers before, where it's like a lot of the times they're just trying to make money at the end of the day for their thing, and I get it. Yeah, I get it. Pick your sponsors
Educate
right,
yourself.
but at the same time, yeah, it's kind of hard to pass up
it.
some of this stuff. I mean, it was weird. Like I got one not that long ago for Raid Shadow Legends. I never thought I would ever.
Shadow Legends.
This stream is not sponsored. We're not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh,
but Raid,
I
I didn't think I'd ever would. And then basically our team got approached by it and they're like, hey, we're doing Raid Shadow Legends. And I kind of told myself a long time ago that I was like, I'll never fall into that. There's no way I'm ever going to be big enough to do a Raid Shadow Legends stream or put Raid Shadow Legends. But if I got the opportunity, I wouldn't take it, basically. And then our team took it for us. So I was like, I guess we're doing this. I mean, money's money at the end of the day, too.
Money's money, yeah.
But I mean, in Raid Shadow Legends is just a mobile game that's preying upon people, but maybe not. Maybe not Raid. I don't know.
I personally, it's one of those things too where like I'll publicly say that I'm not going to work with them. But if I was in a situation where you got forced into it, 100% I would, because at that point, not everything you're in control of, and that's another thing people don't realize. Because just like there's many creators out there who are a part of a network,
who are part of a network,
zero say over what's going to go on their stuff.
Which sucks. Definitely sucks. But you gotta, dude, having a network can bring in opportunities you never saw before. So I mean, to each their own. You guys, a little bit of research, and I feel like don't do anything dumb. I think the biggest.
But Genshin, sponsor me. Genshin, I need your help. I need your love.
You sent me a code, and I don't know what it did. It didn't work. No, it didn't work.
It didn't work. I'm so mad. It didn't work for anybody that I sent it to. For the people, I think Genshin, I need your help. I need your love, Mihoyo, please. I love your newest update, but I can't build as many things as I want to. Please increase the item.
Oh my god, it was so funny to me because I was like, is this just a ploy? Did Jay make up a fake code to get me to install and update Genshin Impact again?
No, it's supposed to work.
I know.
It's supposed to work, and I wanted it to work because I need the things.
I know. Tim showed me that there was a thing going on, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what Jay was trying.
The burning sadness inside me of knowing that I can't get it to work for anybody is just like, I've even reported it to them because I was just like, I can't get the thing. Because the prices.
Please, Genshin, please.
Please, Genshin, help me.
It's so good.
Rewards for this? You can get figures of the characters.
Wait, really?
Want that. Yes.
Like physical figures?
But my code doesn't work, so it doesn't matter. Yes,
dude,
physical
have you tried making a new code? Can you make a new code?
I can't.
Oh, okay.
There's no option for it. My code is my code, and it doesn't work, and I'm sad.
It's so sad. I'm so sad.
Oh yeah, no, it's.
I'll give you my code, Jay. I'll give you my code, and you can give it to everyone because I know it'll work. Because I don't play, and so once I get the figures, I'll give them to you. All right, like,
dude, the hustle on those figures. So it's not even guaranteed that you get the figures. It's a lotto system.
Oh no!
So I just want the opportunity to get told no, I don't get the figures. Please, just let me get rejected the normal way. I don't want to be rejected before the rejection.
This is real.
This is like walking up to somebody and asking them out to prom, but before you get there, they're just like. The note and just like you're just like, oh, okay. You're gone. No. You're just sad.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's basically going up to ask someone at prom and being like, on your way there's just some physical thing that keeps stopping you from getting even close to that person. Like they have a bodyguard or like something that normally isn't there.
Stops you dead.
Yeah, it's just like, nope, no, you can't go past this. It's like, why? Over there is we can't let any more people go over there.
It's that back version of Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, I will never get my wife.
Oh my god, it's so real. Oh man. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh okay, this is definitely a ploy. I'll have to play with you. I have it installed now, so you did it. You got.
Please,
at least you got
get up
one
to a high enough level you can play with me again.
At least oh my god, I have to get to a certain level to play with you.
I can play with you, but
That's true.
So
Come
there's a
carry
problem
me,
with
all right?
Genshin right now, and it's called I outclass everything by a mile.
Oh my god. It's so real.
Yeah,
Uh.
the Genshin has a real problem where I need them to make something hard. And I'm really sad because there's but they upgraded the housing system, and now I get to play little secret house building stuff. It's amazing and adorable, but there's a building limit right now, which I've capped out, and I'm really, really depressed about because I really want to make my island look amazing, and I can't.
So,
MiHoYo, please help me.
So sad. I feel so sorry for you.
I just want to play Genshin.
Oh my god, this is like secretly like
my addiction is real.
It's so good.
My depression is great. No.
All right. Well, I think we can get to the meat and potato because I'm just interested in why you wanted me to watch what? The show that we watched is called.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so there's probably spoiler warnings past this, so if you guys haven't gone to watch it,
spoiler warnings.
If you haven't gone to go watch it, then take the time.
Episode 3 anyways.
Yeah, exactly. This is up to episode 3. So take the time, go get caught up, watch the first episode, see if it's for you. I will say, even before the spoiler warnings, graphic, it's graphic. So
it says that very many times.
I know.
It tells you graphic constantly.
I swear to God,
people did not listen to that.
No, they did not. I didn't even realize until
episode 3 is the episode that controversy. So, hey guys, in case you wanted to actually see what we're going to be talking about, it's happening in episode 3. Go ahead and skip to this time zone where we're about to start doing this. I'm doing some weird editing stuff for Bear that he now has to splice this in before, but hey.
Yeah, whatever.
It'll be good. You want to hear this. All right. So welcome back, guys. What's going on is in episode 3, all spoilers. There's no spoilers in this section right now, but what I do want to bring up is, yes, this seems like a slightly, to bring you up to speed, slightly generic superhero story about a Superman-esque stuff in the DC world with, some mundane ideas going on, but there's a whole bunch more to it. It's really, really awesome. If you want to see our spoiler stuff about it, it's pretty good. And definitely go watch the show. But spoilers aside, in episode 3, we get to the thing that I really started us on this path.
Yeah, was
the controversies that are occurring on the back end of the show, and something I want to talk about in general because this is a whole thing. So, Bear, how dare you enjoy the show with all of its agenda pushing and feminist propaganda and all of this left-wing media giant stuff?
Well,
this show is somehow. Please let the audience know exactly how much of an agenda the show has pushed on the unsuspecting audience about its fourth way feminism and other stuff occurring. Because I might have missed it myself.
Oh my God!
I really need you to let me know.
I might have missed it. It was okay. So the funniest thing about this, Jay's basically like, "All right, you got to get to episode 3. That's where it all goes down." And so I watched episode 1, 2, 3. We get through all of it, and then I was like, "Wait, wait, supposedly there's controversy here. I don't know where it was. Didn't really notice anything necessarily pushing in one way or another. This is, I guess, a spoiler for episode 3. So maybe this is past the edit or whatever. But
try to stay a little bit spoiler-ish
fine.
a second. We'll go back to spoilers in a moment, you guys. It's safer-ish for a moment.
Okay, so if we're still in safeness, there's basically maybe one thing that goes down. It's not even whatsoever about pushing an agenda, but I was like, oh, this is going to be the controversy, and it has something to do with a historical site, basically.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
I was like, okay, I guess this is the controversy right here. This is the only thing I can get from this entire episode, and this is completely dumb.
Yeah, as long as we don't talk about the themes of the show, I think talking about Mount Rushmore getting poop, slight spoilers, not spoilers. Like,
I know,
the
I was
show's
like skirting around it. I'm like, do I say Mount Rushmore? Like,
We are literally trying to piece together something that isn't here for a moment.
Oh, it's
and
not.
It's not. It's not going to ruin the enjoyment of the show. Just let us talk about this for a moment.
It's so funny to
They
me.
boop out Mount Rushmore, and they talk a little bit about the oppressors and things like that for a second. Mind you, this is a bad guy. There's a bad guy in the show. A bad guy. That's all he is. Bad guy. Generic freaking bad guy. That monster of the day. Spoilers, not spoilers. He gonna die because bad guy. Like, there's no surprise here. We all know what happens in a TV show. There's nothing. So literally, guy you're supposed to hate and root against talks about the oppressors of the Mount Rushmore and tries to topple it. He also makes a comment about he used to be a student of female rights and stuff like that, and he supports fourth wave feminism, which isn't thing. It's third wave is like the last thing I know about, anyways. Maybe there's fourth wave, I don't know. And he's pro feminism and stuff like that. The bad guy, the guy that the heroes kill, and I don't mean. In case you're reading into something, they're legitimate heroes. The good guys in the show, the people we like and root for. Even a girl that's wearing pink, because he makes an offhand comment where like, "Oh, I can't believe you're wearing pink like the oppressors and whatnot want you to." And she beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, and she basically is like, "I designed my own costume."
Pissed. There's literally so just funny. A spamming of one things down here. They're like, "Oh, they changed so much in the show. They're propping up this female propaganda and all this. Like, it's just herder. Like, we hate this show because they tried to put modern politics in our TV show."
Oh man, that's so funny. So that was it. That was it. I knew it. I was like trying so hard to pinpoint what maybe at all would have like made someone offended, and I was like, okay, what out of anything that happened would make someone offended? And it was just the shortest scene. It was like the shortest little bit of stuff that goes
2
down.
seconds of the show.
It's literally like
it's a throwaway line. It's a throwaway line. It lasts less than a minute. The dude dies. Like, it's inconsequential to literally everything in the show. It never happens again. There's no agenda, and people are one-starring this thing and saying, "I wish I could give it a 0 because it's pushing the agenda."
Oh,
and it is just like, you guys.
That's so funny to me.
You guys. So there's a couple of other ones in there that I don't want to talk about because they're like, oh, they replaced this X character with a black character. Like, that person, you can go fuck yourself, actually.
Oh, yeah. Fuck that,
and all those people that are onto that other type of thing, you are actual garbage piece of shit. But for you who are just dumb to think that there's an agenda being pushed here, hey, the creator of the original comic book is the one who helped write the revisions to everything and made it the show what it is what it is. He was with it to every bit of it, and he's rebuilding with the show completely.
Yeah,
it is the original creator's honest design to everything here. So fuck off if you're like they changed too much. No. That was such a throwaway scene, and the show has nothing to do about that. What happens later in the show is way more intense than what happens in the first half of the show. It's amazing. Go watch it. We're gonna get back to spoilers now, but that's stupid. And well, before spoilers though, just the fact that people have this opinion though in media in general of like they're trying to push an agenda or something like that, and the reason why they want to watch it because it has like a female lead or something like that. Like, I think we're all on the same page here, and if we're not, and you can't be reasoned with, I will have an actual conversation with you guys one day, but it's not going to happen right now. And if you can't handle that, please never watch us again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a shitty thing not to watch a show for, basically, I guess. Well, the weird thing for me is if it actually has an agenda that is trying to push or something like that in the show, and you can tell that it's something that's actually oppressive or like terrible, like racism or something that is inherently bad, and it's actually trying to push that agenda. I'm not saying you can't have racism in your show and I won't watch it for it, but basically if it's the main point is to make the racist look good or it's supposed to like cause racism, then yes, of course, like fuck that. But no, this show is doing absolutely nothing towards any of this. Like,
that's why I thought like because I read these comments before it started, and I was like, oh, one of these female characters is going to be like this hardcore feminist and have all these views and push this agenda out on people. I was waiting for it because I was like, no, it happens in episode 3, and we get there, and it's literally the bad guy, and I'm like, the guy that we're supposed to hate has the opinions that you don't like.
It's so dumb too, because I was trying so hard. I went in the same thing. He basically put me in the same mindset, and I tried so hard to find anything related to
what the reason was.
and and there was. I finished it, and I'm like, oh man, this is so.
I'm glad those people didn't watch the show. They don't deserve to watch an awesome show.
Oh, it's so good.
Those people suck.
Yeah,
they're dumb. Oh, it's hilarious. Now, I will say there is a 1-star comment that I sympathize with this man. You deserve your 1-star up here. Unlike all these white boys, because obviously a bunch of blonde-haired white boys that are probably not even 6 foot, are all the ones who complained about these agendas being passed. I was bored and clicked on all of them
oh my
just
God,
to see the
so
profiles. But there's one guy out there, and I feel you. On episode 3, there is a moment where they stand in front of the Queen's castle and says that she's a part of a long line of dictators and a whole bunch of nasty stuff, and bad mouths the Queen. I get that you love your country, homie. You batting for the Queen. Good on you.
Oh my God, I forgot that even happened. Oh my God, you're.
Yeah, there's just literally one comment on here of like, God save the Queen. How dare you speak ill of the Queen? She's served this country for 70 years, and like, he's just in love with the Queen, homie. He 1-star that thing all day. I thumbed up your comment.
That's so real. I forgot that even happened. Oh man, and I love that character. The character that actually says that is really funny to me.
Yes.
That dude.
Yeah,
that dude's
I thought he was
just having
great.
a bad time, man. Oh,
they're all oppressors. No.
oh my
Dude.
God.
Okay, full spoilers again.
All right.
Sorry guys, we'll see you later. Spoilers.
Dude, until I think we're far enough in that I can say until it was too late in the first episode. Oh my God, I was watching this with Tiff, and I looked over, and she was like, I've seen this scene, and like she started like getting like flashbacks of seeing what happened, and I was like, oh God, what's about to happen? And then I'm like, oh God.
It just happens, man.
Oh, so what? This is
I finished the show, but we're only talking about
shit.
episode 3, and this shit is it's hard, dude. Like that ending of that episode is just like, they're not gonna pull punches.
Oh,
Shit's gonna go down.
Shit went down. Like, dude, it was, to me it felt really weird, because it was like, okay, I get it. This is like Walmart brand like DC
superheroes.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Well, it feels more DC than it does Marvel, but even still, just superheroes. I'll give you that. And I was like, okay, well, that one's Batman. You got Superman. You got like Wonder Woman, kind of mixed with She-Ra. You got like I guess, I don't know what the one dude. He's almost like Wolverine, but not, without claws, basically.
The Immortal. Yeah, he's basically Wolverine, but he also can fly, which is cool.
He can
and
also
has
fly.
other superpowers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He's just Wolverine with cooler shit.
But man,
no claws.
when fucking all of the shit goes down at the end of episode 1, it just, when Omni-Man kills Dark, I can't remember his name, but oh yeah. So, I mean, all right, I already said the warning.
I know, we already said it, but this is where it hits.
Oh, this is where it hits.
They all fucking die.
They all fucking die, dude. In the first episode, how do you do that? How do you set up? In the first,
set it up so well. You never see it coming.
You really don't.
Dude, it was really like, oh, there's some thick plot armor on a few of these people already. I feel it. I feel the plot. And no,
dude, the weird thing too was when they're all getting the calls and they all realize like shit's going down. You're like, oh, okay, crazy. They're all getting calls and there's some mastermind. They're about to meet the big bad dude, and then fucking Omni-Man out of nowhere. And I'm like, oh my God. There's so much more to this now than I think there will be, and I am excited.
It's when the show gets good, for sure.
It's when the show gets good
in so many ways, because there's just like your mind expands. Like there was a moment, like I really enjoyed the moments with like the Red Flash and his girlfriend.
Yeah,
like,
his girlfriend.
I was like, oh, this is going to be a cool thing. We can watch this unfold and see where it goes, and it's gonna go in the ground 6 feet under for the most part.
Instantaneous. My favorite thing though is because like they all have their tropes and everything like that, and you're like, okay, I can kind of see where they're coming from. And when like you have Omni-Man versus Batman, or like basically Superman versus Batman, and it went down exactly how I was hoping it would go down, which is instantaneous death. I was like, all right, yes, let's go. This is how this would go down. A mere like human being fighting basically an alien that is basically a god. Like, how are you expected to beat him just with your normal gadgets or whatever? But
yeah, every one of those deaths is just so out there. Like the one that I was like hoping for was like the green swoosh or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
the green
she's
ghost.
just gonna evaporate herself. She'll never get hit, but she catches Darkwing and just gets. She just says, "Oh shit," and just takes it through the head. Like
Dude,
she couldn't even think fast enough.
That's right. That's his name, Darkwing. Yeah.
Yeah, it just eats it, and
then,
everybody continues to eat it, and it is just like.
Because the way they set up the show is it really feels like it's going to follow his son, and I mean it does, but it really feels like you're about to watch this kid get his powers late and grow up into being a superhero, and what it feels like to become Superman late while you had a Superman dad basically, and you're like, okay, that's what this show is going to be about. And then they just instantly end episode 1 with, all right, it's a lot more than that going down. And every time you see Omni-Man after that, basically you're like, what's your goal here? Why are you doing this? I bet
even this is underselling like the story too, because this is there's complexity to the story, and this is like it's hard to do justice on what's going on in this show because there's just it's a marathon of things happening. And I loved it. It is so good.
I will agree. I have so far really, really loved this show. It has basically everything I kind of want in a superhero like show, which is you got your cool superpowers, you got fighting, you got all that good stuff, but then they take it to the next notch and basically are like, all right, well, we'll make it brutal, we'll make it feel more like what it would be like if superheroes really did exist in the world, and you more get to see the whole dark and grittiness of what it would be to have superheroes trying to save you, because holy shit, man, yeah, if you're near like ground zero and all that's going down, you're probably dead by whatever's attacking. And then on top of that, even if they try to save you, you could potentially still just die from the aftermath of what's going on of them saving you. Like,
there's just it pulls zero punches, zero fucks are given, whether it's a kid on scene or anything else. It's the fact that you were shown on screen means you're probably gonna die. Yeah. So far
it just makes me want to watch more, basically. I mean, I
had to marathon it.
I finished the latest episode right before I hopped on here, or episode 3. How many episodes are there in the season?
I think 8.
Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, because I know the latest one, like this season wrapped up, if I remember correctly, and it seems like it did recently or is about to. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's wrapped up.
Okay, cool.
The season's over.
Yeah,
and I mean, we're only talking up to episode 3.
Yeah.
But dear God, the season finale. I can't wait for you to get there.
Okay.
I just want you to call me when you're done. And it's okay if you just like have a silent gasp of air, and I'll understand exactly what you're thinking.
So why are we getting up to season 3? What happened? What was so...
Okay,
to get back to spoiler. All right, so... The characters and everything, like all the character designs, this isn't even necessarily even that spoilers, but I started just giving them like you have like duplicating Thanos, or like Thanos and clone Thanos, which turns into just Thanos, or blue brothers. Thanos, I should say. It's not purple. And then you got your Batman, you got Superman, you got Wonder Woman, Invincible. Like he's like the only one that I was trying to like pinpoint who I would make him as. He almost feels like if Robin had superpowers. But
yeah, kind of. Yeah. Man, I can't remember a lot of his storyline up until episode 3, but yeah, he's an interesting character that I don't really know where he fits in. For some reason, he almost reminds me of like who does he remind me of?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hard to
He almost
put
feels
on.
like a sidekick, weirdly enough.
Yeah, sidekicky-ish in a way.
But I mean, at the same time, he's almost like that sidekick that's becoming more of an actual hero.
Yeah.
Which is why I put him as like Robin, because I know Robin takes over for Batman after a while and things like that. Weirdly enough,
or the Nightwing sagas and stuff like that.
Yeah, or the Nightwing saga.
There's all of the adult Robin, or when he's X or whatnot, and yeah, there's a bunch of Robin adult stuff. But
yeah, holy shit, dude. Omni-Man is a fucking asshole.
Right?
That dude's character is so well done. It trips me out. I like whoever's writing Omni-Man to be the way he is, like, because he has that whole feel where you know enough about him as far as what he's done in the first episode, and then how he acts. Basically, because he's unconscious for the second episode, and then the third episode he like wakes up basically again, and like he does the whole speech, and it seems genuine. And there's so many times where you can tell whatever he has going on, that it's so weird. It's like, why did he do this to these people?
Yeah.
I need to
find
out more. This is why I can't
wait until you finish and talk to me about this.
Yeah, I know.
It's so, yeah.
Because I know you probably understand more than I do, but I'm over here like literally
I wanted to stop at 3 so we could talk about it, but I had to finish it.
I'm literally over here like, what the fuck is happening? Like, whoever the mysteryness behind him and his actual actions is so good, because they blend in his son just growing up and things like that. And instantaneously the first thought I had is, dude, his son's gonna have to kill his dad. And I'm like, this is so fucked. Like, this is so fucked up. I'm like, god damn, dude.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah, okay. I like where your brain goes.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it's logical to me once his son figures out what the hell's going on, because his son's super into comics, super into loving the heroes. So to know that his dad went rogue and fucked up a bunch of heroes, he'd basically lose his shit, is my personal guess. But at the same time, he loves his dad.
Dude, he loves his dad so much.
The conflict there is real and done well. Like, oh man.
I mean, he's such a likable guy too. Like, Omni-Man is set. You know, he's just a homie.
No, he definitely feels like
he loves his wife.
Yeah,
he loves his kid. Like, there's a real amount of things going on there.
Yeah, he definitely feels genuine. The one character I feel terrible for right now, at least, is like Adam and Eve, I think her name is, or whatever. The girl in the pink suit. Everyone calls her Eve.
Yeah, Eve or whatever her name is.
Like, literally just having the worst day. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she has some minutes going on.
Oh man, I was like, your life sucks right now. I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah, I like her character a lot.
I do. I like her character.
She
too.
grows really well throughout the series as a really good, solid supporting character.
Yeah. And holy fuck, dude, Robot is evil, like, right now at the end of season 3 or episode 3. Like,
yes, I see. Some of me has forgotten what like episode 3 ends on, other than the stupid versity.
Oh yeah, problem.
Yeah. But yeah, there's he looks like he's a
I don't know what his agenda is either, but like, there's so many like little subplots in this that are like, because you think you're like, oh, it's Omni-Man, 100%. Like, dude's evil. He's trying to release villains again so he can beat them up or something. And then it's like Robot Dude, and you're like, wait a second. How could he be releasing people on Pot Pie Day? Like, this is fucked up.
Chicken Pot Pie Day too, man.
Yeah,
come on.
Dude.
Yeah, I was surprised when that happened. I was really shocked. I was like, wait, but this whole story, like, isn't the whole thing just gonna be bad guy? Like, Omni-Man status? And no, there's a whole series in here. Like,
yeah, 100%.
The Omni-Man problems just so far, it is the end of episode 1 for a few minutes problem, and then the rest of the show is still happening.
Yeah, exactly. Like, basically that is like an overarching thing that people are trying to figure out still. And
yeah,
man, I just want to go on a tangent. The director dude is my favorite fucking character. I love that dude. I don't know if they make him into being a terrible person or anything like that, but him right now, I like his superpower. Like, I like everything about, like, he just seems ominous, and like, he could
the first couple episodes I really loved him and Robot. Like, director and Robot were really cool in the beginning for me.
Yeah. I feel that. I definitely
We'll find out what I think of them later.
Oh my god.
Will
No.
they still be awesome? Only you will know next week. But yeah, I loved every character in this entire show all the way through. Every single one of them. Everything that this show is literally one of my top favorite shows now.
They do.
And if you liked The Boys, for anybody who's watched The Boys, this makes The Boys like a kid's show. I don't care about The Boys anymore. This show is so much better than The Boys.
Yeah, this show is instantly that's what reminded me. I was like, this reminds me of The Boys. I actually, weirdly enough, haven't watched The Boys yet, but I've seen enough
from what
of it.
Everybody knows of The Boys, for sure, yeah.
So from an outside perspective, this just felt like animated boys, The Boys, basically. And I was like, okay, I get it. But man, I don't know what's going on in The Boys right now, but holy shit, in this show, they are just layering on layer. This is like a layer cake that's like 100 layers deep, and you're trying to figure out which flavor all these goddamn flavors are, and you're never going to figure it out.
The Boys is like a decent show, and it sucks because in a lot of ways, I know a lot of people are like, if you went into the show and you didn't even listen to us, you just literally went and watched it, you understand, like, it's an experience to watch a show not knowing what's happening.
Yeah.
But if you were spoiled on it, a lot of people are just like, oh, it's probably just like The Boys, and they don't want to watch it for that reason. And it's like, no, The Boys is not competition for this show. This show does everything different. There's no, like, this is its own story. It's doing its own thing, and it's amazing for everything it does do. The Boys is good on its own right for what it is.
Yeah,
but
I still want to watch it
with The Boys, but that's aside the problem. We'll have to have a Boys.
Yeah, we'll have to have a Boys.
One day when you watch it.
Yeah,
because I understand why people still like The Boys, but there's a lot of plot holes.
Yeah,
I'll say that. But dude, there's so much that happens in the show that is like, no spoilers for you. I won't go past episode 3 for you, but consequences in the show for even the way that like blood gets splattered on something. The fact that the intro card gets a little bit of blood splattered on it and is still there the next time when more blood gets splattered on it.
No, I know.
And the next time, like, everything in the show, if it happens, it stays. If somebody gets like something cut, things occur, it stays on the character until you visually see it usually removed for a reason, or enough time has passed that you know that by now that would have been fixed. Like, shit's real. I love that. It's like one of the things that I love about the new SSSS Dionyson thingy or whatnot. When that city gets wrecked in that anime, shit stays wrecked, and people are like, "Oh no, hell's broken loose, stuff's broken." I love when shows keep to the fact that shit's not okay. Love that.
Yeah, I really love the character design in this show. Like, the characters feel genuine, and they feel very much. I haven't felt like any of the main characters that they've brought in have done anything. I mean, I'm only 3 episodes in, but each episode is 45 minutes, so you're with these characters for quite a bit of time. But, so everything so far has felt like these characters are developing the way that I would see them developing. I would see, like, I can understand in a real world in these situations, seeing everything compound on them. Like, this is kind of feels like how it would go down, because when you're a superhero who's never really saved people, and now you're around people dying, and you're watching all of this like unfold in front of you, of course you're going to like freeze or not be good at what you're doing, or like even just the morality of starting to realize that the person that you saved maybe is still going to die, and then having to deal with that. And the dad basically being like, yeah, you're a superhero now. Like, you have to deal with this. You can't bring this home with you. This is your work, basically. It's like having a shitty day at work. You don't want to bring that home to now deal with it home and air out at home. But man, it's like, it's so different because you're a superhero. Like, how do you unwind these two different things? You watch people die. You didn't save people. Like, there's such weird topics to deal with. And it's just funny to see the characters deal with them in a fairly like relatable state. I can't relate to it because I'm not a superhero, but
yeah, but I mean, even so, I have a few friends that are in the medical field, and like when they come home from dealing with like somebody dying and stuff like that, like It's almost impossible to separate that shit from your life sometimes.
yeah.
Like you just start taking on dark humor or acting in very peculiar ways to other people that to you seems, it's just you just got to get through stuff. And I feel like there's a lot of like how you just the kids trying to deal with that too. Like it's just like this is new. You don't expect it to be what it is, but it is.
Yeah. And then like just his whole personality taking on and basically kind of like unfolding as he got his superpower was pretty real. Like when he got in the fight with the bully for the second time and realizing like, oh yeah, no, hit me. Like it doesn't hurt anymore. Like I can get beat up and I can just stare you down. It's kind of creepy because you're like, holy shit, dude, calm down. But at the same time, he's now dealing with this power trip in his head of like.
So worried he was going to punch the kid. I was so worried. The whole time I was like, well, at any moment this is going to break out in hell. And like, everything is already like the show. You just know at some point shit is going to get real and you don't know what that real moment is. And it's going to be like, he's just like shoves him or something and the dude goes through a wall. Like you're waiting for it.
And it would be one of those things
I don't know when.
If he shoved him and he went through the wall, that dude would die. Like there's no it wouldn't just be like one of those things where like in a show where like oh he gets pushed up against the wall super hardcore and gets knocked out or whatever. No, he would probably just die instantaneously and would have to deal with the repercussions of murdering a student in front of everybody. It's also weird like being
every
a superhero
is capable of dying. Every if something happens to somebody, they will die. If there's a loud boom next to somebody, they will die. If they move too fast, they're gonna throw up. Like
no, exactly. I mean, I really liked how Omni-Man does feel like I'm invincible or whatever, but then in that first episode, we see him get put in a coma because he fought with the rest of the superheroes. So
he's
that
not
he
invincible.
can, he can get fucked up. Unlike the main character, whose
not
name
like
is
Invincible.
Not like Invincible.
Invincible like Invincible.
No one's invincible like Invincible.
Nobody's invincible. That's my favorite cut. So that whole bit of cutting every single time that the first time somebody says invincible,
to the title card. Yeah.
My favorite scene is the moment where they're like, "But nobody's in," and just jumps to invincible.
No, exactly. Yeah.
It's like yes.
It's so well done. It's there's a lot about this show I really do enjoy, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I heard the comic is good too, because that's one of the people who talked about this.
It doesn't push an agenda.
Yeah, the comic doesn't. I don't know. But
and it's got good old fashioned white people.
I know. What
guys, get off your
shit. Oh my god, it's so bad.
I hate people, dude.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like when you adapt something to animation, there's a different feel than when you're on like just reading it as a comic or as a manga or whatever it might be. Sure, you can get that feel sometimes. For some stuff you can translate it fairly well, but it's one of the reasons why whenever I read manga and then I go watch the animation, if it doesn't sync up perfectly or they did something different or they dragged a scene out or whatever they might have done, maybe they changed the character the way they looked or something like that compared to how they looked in the manga, normally that's for a reason, one reason or another. The person who's usually did the original comic or at least like wrote the manga or whatever is a consultant or even more hands-on. Very, very rarely is it completely out of like their hands, basically. That might be different for live action. I don't know, because
and for better or worse, sometimes like there's always the outliers, but I think the original creator and the team that worked on this did an excellent job.
I think they did an excellent job too. I haven't read the original, but it makes me want to go read the original just so I can see the differences. But so far, this show has been very, very good. At it. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I had to see that agenda being put in there. I was really curious on exactly how hard they slipped that in. And it turns out the bad guy
I know
is not pro-feminist.
That was just still so funny to me to think that I was looking as hard as I was for controversy. And it's so weird that the slightest tinge was what it turned out to be, and turned out to be, I literally thought it was going to be people controversially saying they destroyed Mount Rushmore. That how could they deface a monument, basically. How could they
Yeah.
do that? Because that was the only thing I could think. I couldn't think that the little bit of line that he says about being pro-feminism, or basically that he did social study, and then like calling her out for wearing pink, and basically calling the oppressors out for making her wear pink or whatever, and then talking about our founding fathers as people who owned slaves and were oppressors and things like that. And it's like, oh my god, that's it.
Yep.
That's where we're at. You guys, I mean, we do know history. We do know that a lot of this, like, I don't know. It's so bad, you guys. It's so bad to get offended about this type of stuff to me. It's
like I said, I'm not at all surprised on the people who made these comments.
No, either am I. I think that was,
but it's just pathetic.
I think that's why I was able to at least pinpoint where it was, because it's the only thing in that episode.
That's
even
remotely there's like one
close to
comment on there that's got like 7. We'll put some of these up. I'm going to share them with Barry, and maybe he'll put them up so you guys can look at them for anybody who's watching. But it's
if you're lucky, I'll put them up.
If you're lucky, it's up there. But it's literally just like there's like 1,700 upvotes on some of these comments where I'm just like, wow, there's that many people who watched the show who agreed with this. Like,
I mean, you could also see people just piling on. Like I've liked stuff too, but even still, even with that, like, I don't know. It's it's dumb. People are dumb, man.
It's extra dumb. It's another level dumb.
Yeah.
I
definitely want to go read like wherever this is. So whenever you send this over, I will 100% be reading these.
It's worth the read. Like there's some gems in there. There's some brilliant gems. Just sort by 1 stars and go through it. Like I said, there's that British homie in there.
Oh, I know. I love that. I forgot that happened. I still want to. I love that guy, because you see him in the very beginning, and that is such a genuine moment between 2 security guards and him, like wanting to know about his stepson, basically, and they're like going on this vacation or whatever.
It's touching, yeah.
And I literally thought they were going to kill him right then and there, because he takes a shot at Thanos, and I was like, it's over for you, man.
Because he doesn't die, I was like, plot armor to people. I thought people would survive. He
survived.
He made me not realize what was about to happen.
Actually really good writing, though. Now I think about that, that's a good way to throw off your, I don't know, plot armor detection. I can't think of a better word for this, but
oh, there's another 1 star, by the way, that you'll enjoy. There's some poor lady who did not read the warnings. I didn't read the warnings, I get it, but very disturbed at the amount of violence.
Oh my god.
Okay, and I'm just like,
so at the beginning there's a warning for seizures, and I was like, okay, I get it. There's gonna be flashing lights. It makes sense. And then at the very top corner, it does say 18 plus. I will say I did not realize that it pops up saying 18 plus until the 2nd episode.
Same here. I didn't see any of that, because I thought this was like the new Justice League style comic or something like that. But yeah, it's like the left hand corner says 18 plus, the right hand says extreme violence, guts and gore, and like it. There's tags of warning, and it's telling you about the shit about to go down.
It was so funny because when we got to the point where they started dying basically in the first episode, I can't remember if we paused it, but I feel like we paused it right before his head got crushed, right before Red, whatever his name, the Flash, whatever the Flash got his head crushed, and it was like, oh, homie's about to die. There's no coming, dude. You can see his like hands start like limp wristing as they're like breaking up against his chest. And I'm like, oh, this
slowly
is
crushing
so
his head.
Goddamn real.
So brutal.
It's good. Oh my god, show's so good.
Yeah, it's
gory,
insane,
but
dude.
yeah, it's definitely,
it's gory.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
It's not. No. When Darkwing dies, as I said, oh, perfect. That's how Batman would die to Superman, by getting crushed instantly into the ground. Okay.
Yeah, I can easily see. I do not recommend this show for 99% of the people I've ever talked to.
No, I mean, sure, I will agree. It's not. This show is.
It's funny because I've recommended The Boys to people because I was like, oh, people could handle this. It's edgy, it's gory, it's out there, it's got a lot of stuff. It's probably gonna offend some people, but it's not for everybody. I'll 50-50 on if I'm gonna recommend it to somebody. This is like straight up like I don't know if you can handle this cartoon, man.
Yeah, I think for me, it's weird because I've grown up, I guess, where I grew up, and we just grew up with gore, and we grew up with terrible comics or terrible shorts and things like that all over the internet. I've watched some terrible stuff, man, and it just desensitized. This show reminded me how desensitized I am to gore and violence because of this stuff. Because
this just takes it to another. You haven't seen the gory scenes yet.
No, I don't think I have. Yeah, I can agree. I can agree with you there, because it seems like if the first episode's that bad, that's just the let me get you ready for what's about to happen. But still, like I noticed, because I was talking to Tiff with it afterwards, and she's basically like, yeah, dude, I barely could handle that. And I'm like over here like, oh shit, okay, I guess that's true. I could see not recommending this to everybody, because I mean, I like this show. I don't mind seeing some gore and stuff like that. But dude, it is definitely brutal. It is not for the faint of heart.
There's a lot of bleakness to it. Like I could see this hurt. Like I don't like the whole like I'm triggered thing or safe spaces. I'm not that type of person, but I will think, don't show this to most people.
Yeah.
I just don't.
Heed the warnings. Yeah. We recommend the show, but at the same time, if this is something that you're susceptible to, then don't watch the show. If anything that we've said remotely, you're like, maybe not. And they did say that there's some people who explode, and there's blood and guts and there's gore, and if that at all is pushing you into that camp of like, I don't know, then just don't, just because it's there.
Just don't.
It's definitely there. I don't know what other themes they go into, but so far a lot of the themes haven't been like terribly bad. Like there's some like there's some suggestive stuff, there's some like sad relationshipal stuff that feels all pretty damn real. But there hasn't been like anything too, like, I'd say that I wouldn't recommend for, I don't know, as far as like, there hasn't been like crazy rape scenes, or there hasn't been anything like that so far.
There's nothing like that. There's no sexual content or abuse or anything like that. It's literally just get punched gore.
Yeah, okay. Because that's how it feels. That's how it feels. It's going to stay. And I didn't know if it will become that. But I mean, luckily you do. So.
Yeah, and I don't think that's spoilers. I think the show has a line that it's going to go on to.
I actually kind of wanted to know before, so that's kind of nice to know. I don't think that's necessarily spoilers. So
yeah, but it's still just so freaking brutal that I don't recommend it for most people.
Man, it's good though.
But it's really, really good.
Really good. Writing's good.
I cannot wait to talk to you about the season finale.
Well, maybe
honestly, I even just want to talk to I even just want to hear your words halfway through.
Yeah.
Literally just call me.
Well, maybe then what we'll do is I'll start watching this, and if I don't finish it, we'll just have a check-in and we can see where I'm at next time we record. We'll just go from there until man.
We'll squeeze a little extra series in there, because I don't want to make this a whole thing where
I don't either. I don't want to do like every episode like what we do sometimes with some of these shows, but
I just want to talk about the controversy that's not a controversy. Because it cracked me up.
Yeah, that actually cracked me up too, to finally find out what it is.
I mean, there's still a part of me that wants to even talk about other stuff. Like there's a bunch of people that were like Miss Marvel or what is it? Yeah, Marvel. I forget what the actual movie was called. Like people were mad because she was the lead.
Captain
and
Marvel.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
Captain Marvel. Thank you. I forgot.
I got
Love that movie. One of my favorites. But like the review bombing and stuff like that because of like her haircut and weird stuff like that. Like there's I don't even know if I'm supposed to even like act like those people are real, but it's like there's such a big mass of them that it's almost hard to ignore, and
I just don't understand.
Shine light on them. It's so weird.
I just don't understand the getting offended or letting that curate your content that you watch or like, basically.
Yeah.
It seems like a really off, strange thing to throw it. It's like, I guess you don't like women. Like, I think that's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
And you don't like short haircuts on women, and that's fine. You like, don't make it like ruin your life. It's so weird. It's not fine. It's definitely not fine. That's not what I meant to say. But it's it's like, why would you let that be the thing to now go and I'm going to review bomb? I'm going to give this 1 star. I'm going to go tell everybody that this is not worth seeing. 10, like 1 out of
Yeah.
10, whatever it might be. Like,
Which is funny because there's a lot of despicable anime. Yes, and everybody who watches animes are animals. No, but there's a bunch of like degeneracy in anime culture,
Sure.
In the otaku scene and whatnot, things like that. But at the same time, I feel on average when I talk to somebody that says that they watch anime, even if they are closet degenerates or not, whatever there is on them, I know that at the end of the day, they probably have watched and enjoyed many of female lead shows because there's just a plethora of them in anime. And it's
Yeah.
usually that like us as a culture, as a group of people are generally like on the side of like we don't think about it, as opposed to the people who don't watch anime. I almost like somehow I would love to meet the person with this opinion who also watches anime.
Yeah. No,
Like
it,
I want to know who that person is.
it's such a strange thing because it started cropping up in video games and stuff too. Like
Mhm.
all of a sudden, there'd be like games with women as leads instead of males, and they would get review bombed or they would get like disliked or people wouldn't want to play as a girl. And it just, I don't know, it's so strange.
Yeah.
It's such a strange way to be, to hate content because there's a female lead or there's like a strong female character in it. Because I don't know.
Push that agenda.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
It's great.
I'm never gonna get over that.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
I don't
It's
understand.
so weird.
Well, you guys go enjoy your shows that push those strong female lead agendas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wish I had something nuanced to talk about this, but like as much as I did in my head, I was like ready to come in this with a thing, but then I like the moment I talk about it, I realize they're all just a joke. They're the flat earthers of the world, guys.
Yeah.
I don't like.
I agree.
I don't know how to give them a time, and like I said, I don't imagine most of us anime lovers are those people.
Yeah.
Which is good that our community isn't. I get that the video game community, and we see it everywhere else. Like it exists out in the normie space, and we should fight against it.
Yeah, agreed.
But it's almost like
I just feel
they're
like
their own punchline.
yeah, people make all the content you want to make, basically. And if that involves female lead, then dude, power to you. Like I will love your content that you make no matter what you do, for the most part. Like
yeah. And I will say there is some heavy-handed stuff out there that I do think does too much.
Sure.
That stuff does exist. I'm not going to say that it's not there and it is annoying. Like, just have things exist naturally. One thing that I will say, here's like one thing that I do have out there in like the space that I would like to gripe about because I do find a problem with it, is the idea that every gay character in most shows needs to have like a tragic storyline to them or have like the disapproving parents or have like a horrible experience. That is one trope that I'm really over.
I'll agree with that. That is definitely a strange trope because I mean I get it. A lot of the time, especially when we were growing up and things like that, it still wasn't accepted and it was still harder to have that. But that doesn't mean that every single character or every single
always has that problem.
Yeah, always. Yeah. It does. The majority of the time I ever see a gay character, I will agree, their backstory is usually either something tragic or
they're going through something tragic or somebody's not accepting me or all these things, which is good, you know, that those stories exist, but that's not every gay character. And it only serves to push people to think like, oh, they're trying to push that agenda of like, sympathize with the gays. And it's like, dude, there's a lot of happy-go-lucky, awesome gay people who've never had a problem in their life and just enjoy life and are living their life. And can we get a few more of those people in there to show people that, hey, you can have a good life and be gay?
Yeah.
Not all bad. Or it gets better, one of the two, something like that. I'm tired of the I'm gay, therefore I must have bad story written about me.
Yeah.
Just tired of it. So I'm
definitely down for some tropes of changing their ways. Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to get changed. And I feel like a lot of like female tropes are getting changed for the better too.
I think
So it's
so
one
as
of those things
well.
where I don't feel like those feel as like they're pushing anything. It's just natural now.
I mean, in anime,
Which it needs to be. Like female leads and all that stuff just need to be natural. It doesn't need to be a statement.
yeah.
And same thing with everything else. Just make it normal, make it natural, make them a part of the cast. Don't make it feel like you need to call it out, because it doesn't. It's just it's how real life would be. They're just there. Let's celebrate that.
Females
good,
exist
good
too.
stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like as far as content that I've watched in recent times, it's getting so much better. Like people are
it's getting way better.
People are getting a lot better at just writing. Yeah, as you would put it, naturally, and I think that is the way to put it. Like to have these characters feel like they're there because they should be, and that's why they should be there. Like,
yeah, which is why I love the anime space, because I feel like in anime all of this already exists, and especially in manga too. Like I'm on volume 3 of Love Me Who I Am.
There you go.
Love this story. Does its concepts so freaking well, and it's from Japan, a place that doesn't really accept what's going on in this thing.
Yeah,
it's so good. And I just, I don't know. I wish more media was like what I read, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's just everything exists harmoniously and doesn't try, it can tell a story regardless of who the characters are.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to tell us who the character is.
I think it really became, because it like used to be like a flashy, or like a, not necessarily flashy, but like a talking point, or like a way to push basically your content into more of a light, because it was doing something that was somewhat controversial by having said thing. But nowadays that's less of a reason to do any of this, so it's kind of just become normalized, which is the way it should be. And I'm glad to see more and more games, more and more content, like movies, everything like that, just being able to have female characters or gay characters or whoever it might be in the light of a main role, and it doesn't feel like that they're doing it because they're trying to force this character to be this way for this type of thing, and it's going to get us more views, or it's going to get us more stuff, because that's how I feel like originally it was used, and it was very distasteful to see, like, oh, we're gonna make this character this way because it'll make us more money, or it'll bring us more views, or whatever it might be. And I'm glad to see that dying off slowly but surely. I mean, it's still there. I mean, of course, sex sells and all that type of stuff. Like,
and pandering a little bit, like, and I get that. Like,
I mean, I was gonna say
everybody likes to be pandered to a little bit, you know, being like, hey, look, it's you. I mean, look at all of the stuff that's made for us already. They pander to us constantly.
Yeah.
So, we should, like, I'm not. Shows should pander. If you want to be like, this dude's or it's very much, she is the biggest like power thing ever. Let people have that for whatever. Let just it be role reversed in the hardest way possible, and she's just the biggest badass, because we have that already for us, and we don't think anything weird about the fact that what we enjoy is pandered to us that hard.
Yeah.
Do I wish that they weren't pandering to us at all, and aka not pandering to anybody, and everything was just normal and everything had an equal whatever and just existed? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. But also, yes, you can have your hard pander, and if it's not for you, not everything is meant for you.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. Not everything is made for you.
I think that's actually,
let that shit exist.
I think that's like the biggest thing, and I kind of like I want to kind of end it on this note, because one of the biggest issues with people getting offended by everything nowadays is I feel like everyone thinks everything's for them, or designed or created for them, and it's not. At the end of the day, if you don't like something, then just don't watch it, or
move on.
Just, it doesn't mean that it's terrible or it's the end of the world or whatever it might be. It might just mean that whoever was writing this was writing it for a different audience. So, I don't know. Go enjoy your content, basically. And if you don't enjoy something,
get over your stuff. Enjoy a different perspective for some days.
Yeah, there you go. It's not a bad way to look at it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, thanks for coming through for our rant. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. And as always, stay